This game is between Garry Kasparov, who at the time was a world champion, and the number 2 in the world, Anatoly Karpov. It's from 1988, and it's from a tournament played in Amsterdam. Kasparov opened with e4, and we had c6, a caro-kann, d4, d5, knight d2, protecting the pawn. Pawns get exchanged. Karpov plays a knight to d7. We just have the development of the knights. Knight f6, challenging the knight on e4, which drops back. We don't want to exchange that. e6 to open the diagonal for the bishop. Bishop to d3, sometimes developed as c4, but Kasparov here chooses d3, where it's going to be eyeing the h7 square. Bishop to e7, castle kingside, c5, challenging this d4 pawn. Queen to e2, making space for the rook to come to d1 and line up on this file should it get opened. Karpov castles kingside, the rook comes to the d file, the queen gets out of the way. Always a good idea. If you don't want your queen lined up against a rook, those files can open up very quickly, and we get all sorts of discovered attacks, which can end up with you losing your queen. c4, pawn takes, knight recaptures. a6 to stop any ideas of knight b5, kicking the queen. We have b3, which serves a couple of purposes. It clears a b2 square for the bishop to come onto the long diagonal, and it also offers support to this c4 square. Rook to e8. When Kasparov develops his bishop onto the diagonal. b6, Karpov is looking at doing the same with his bishop. And when Kasparov plays knight to h5, challenging the knight on f6. Now, because it's defended by another knight, if the knight on h5 was to capture on f6, then Karpov can always replace it with a knight. So he doesn't really see anything to worry about here, and he just develops as planned with bishop to b7. However, Kasparov did have another idea in mind, and he plays here knight takes e6. Now we're attacking the queen, and these two knights are combining now to attack g7. Now sacrifices on e6 are fairly common because e6 is defended by the f7 pawn, and we know the f7 square is a weakness, or is very often a weakness. By sacrificing on e6 you can force his pawn to take, and then you can bring in a piece, and you've got rid of the f7 pawn, and you're attacking along that diagonal, and you can make life very uncomfortable for the opponent's king. So Karpov captures here, and we have queen takes pawn check, and then Karpov plays his king to f8. Now I'll just show you what would happen if we go to h8. If the king goes to the corner, then the queen comes onto the f7 square, immediately threatening to take the pawn with checkmate. And then if we defend that square with the rook, then we can get bishop takes a knight, again threatening g7. So the knight recaptures, and then after the knight takes again, the pawn can't take, because then we'd have the queen could come and take on h7 with checkmate, and if the bishop takes, then his queen, black's queen, is hanging, and we win the queen. So go back to this position, and Karpov plays his king to f8, and then we get the nice tactical shot. The bishop comes and takes h7, removing more defenders, and the bishop can't be taken, because if the knight was to take it, the bishop on b2 comes in, and that is checkmate. So instead Karpov plays his other knight to c5, attacking the queen and forcing the queen away from the danger area. The queen drops back to h2, and now the knight can take the bishop. So the knight takes an h7, the bishop comes in and removes the last pawn that was defending the king. King goes to g8, and then the bishop drops back to b2, so it's still controlling that diagonal, but it's also getting out of the way of a g-file so that more attackers can be brought in to attack the king. When Karpov plays his queen upper square to c6, now this has got a couple of purposes. First of all, his queen can come to say g6 if he needs to block the g-file, and it can also be used in some lines to defend, but it also is keeping this queen pinned to the defense of a g2 square because it's lined up with the bishop, and if the queen was to move away, the queen would checkmate there. So Kasparov continues his attack with rook to d4 to bring it to the g-file. And Karpov puts his knight in a way, and then Kasparov renews the threat by attacking this knight, threatening to take the piece. So Karpov moves it out of harm's way, and at the same time attacks this queen, which remember has got to keep an eye on this g2 square. So the queen goes to g4, then we get a nice move from Karpov, bishop to a3, attacking this bishop which is undefended, so it's threatening to win a bishop, but he's also discovered an attack on this rook, so if we had bishop takes bishop, the rook would give checkmate on the back rank, and if a rook exchange on e8, then this rook would renew the threat, so the bishop still couldn't be taken, as rook e1 would be checkmate again. So now his bishop and his rook are under attack. Kasparov meets both of these problems with bishop to c3. Karpov takes a rook, and we recapture. Rook e8, renewing the threat of checkmate. Bishop d2, defending the square, and also attacking this knight another time. And when Karpov comes in and attacks the bishop again, and again if we take with the bishop, rook e1 checkmate, and if we didn't do anything about this, remember this bishop's guarding this e1 square, so bishop takes bishop, rook takes bishop, and rook e1 would checkmate on the back rank again. So Kasparov meets fire with fire, and he plays h4. This gives his king space to move, and it's attacking this knight which is pinned against the king, so it can't move away. Bishop takes bishop, rook takes, rook comes down check, and the king moves to his flight square. Now, as we said, this knight's attacked and it can't move because he's pinned. So Karpov plays a rook to e4. Now Kasparov's queen's attacked, and if he was to play, for instance, queen to f5, remember that queen was defending a g2 square, would get rook takes h4 check, and if the king drops back, queen takes g2 as checkmate, and if it goes to g3, we get checkmate still. The queen comes in, the king takes a rook, and the knight f3 forces a queen to take, and then the bishop comes in, renewing a checkmating threat. So we don't get that. Instead, to meet this attack, Kasparov renews his attack against this knight. So he's blocked the attack from the rook, he's attacking this knight again, and also this f4 move allows this rook and d2 to defend g2, so taking a burden off the queen. So how's Karpov going to save his knight here? Well, he has a nice try with queen to e6, threatening the queen, so if we just take the knight, we lose the queen, and if the queen takes black's queen, the knight recaptures and gets out of harm's way. However, Kasparov doesn't go for either of these options. He checks on the back rank, rook d8 check, king comes to f7, and then a rook d7 check, a very nice move as the queen can't take the rook because it's being protected in x-ray fashion by the queen and g4. So the king moves again, king f8, and now the queen captures, and a rook retakes, and Kasparov takes the knight on g5. Now this rook is attacking both of these minor pieces, which is why Karpov recaptured with the rook instead of the knight, because he knew he'd lose one of these pieces. Now we can defend against that threat with rook e7. Kasparov's happy to exchange a rooks and plays g4. Now the dust has settled, and if we look at the material balance, white has got 4 pawns for the bishop. The pawns are connected, and particularly the kingside pawns are already well advanced, and he's got a knight and a king in support. A couple more moves were played before Karpov threw in a towel, as these pawns are going to be too powerful. So a really good game between the two best players in the world at the time, and two chess legends, and it's really good to see how they met each other's threats with counter threats of their own. So I hope you enjoyed the game, and if you'd like to see more videos, just remember to subscribe to our channel, and if you've got any comments, please add them below. Thanks for watching.